review is of the Mustang P-51D, and it is a 1/24th scale model, and it is by MPC. It's a very large box, a large plane. This has a retractable undercarriage. Not sure I'm going to use that. Large wingspan, removable body panels. So let's have a look around the rest of the box. Nothing really anything else. Let's have a look here. Nothing else. Some details about the plane. So let's have a look inside. We have a lot of parts here. This is an old kit, as you can tell. You can tell from the way it's been molded. Some of the parts have been removed. I bought this online, and it was a complete kit. All the parts in a plastic bag here. And we do have a lot of parts to go through. Okay, so there's all of our parts. Let's start off with the obvious ones, the wings. So we actually have recessed lines, which is amazing. And then our gun bays are open for reloading. Do you have a little bit of flashing? Easy to remove. Here's the other side of the wing. So this is the underside. Here are our flaps and our wheel wells. We have our three exhausts for the guns. Here are our lights. Also, again, recessed lines. Interesting. So, those are the wings. Let's have a look at our fuselage. Also recessed lines. The rivets, though, are raised. Molding quality is not great. And you can see additional parts. Molding quality not great. Looks like the engine will be visible. Here is the other side of the fuselage. We've got some of the detail on the inside. Again, same with this side. So, here we have some additional parts, probably for our body here. Radiator over there. Over here we have, this is for our canopy. And looks like a pilot's arm over there. Some braces. And then some random parts here and there. Looks like probably some rockets. And some of the tails of the rockets. Here are the pylons for the wing. And this looks like our part of our wheel well door. Next we have, this is the fuselage former, probably the back of our cockpit here. Let's look at the other side. We have some more rockets. Here are our guns, and they are nicely detailed. We have our ailerons and the stabilizer or elevator, and then the other side. So, fairly detailed there. Parts are just falling off. Okay, it looks like part of our propeller here. And our wheel well doors. This is the port to open up for our exhaust. We have the elevator. That's the other side, and some more rockets, as well as our additional machine guns. Okay, we have some more body parts here. These are the engine covers. Here's the front part of the spinner. And I guess that's probably our tail landing gear. And probably for our pack or parachute for our pilots. Next here we have a variety of little parts. Here we have our engine and probably part of our exhaust. This is probably the floor here of our cockpit. And flaps, looks like they're going to be able to move. Some additional engine parts here. And rockets. And this looks like our control lever there. Here's our tail landing gear. Okay, here are the clear parts. There's the bubble canopy. It's really well molded. You can see some of the detail. And this is the gun belt for the machine gun. Landing gear. Here are our fuel tanks. They'll go together like that. Reasonable fits. Some spare parts here and there. We have our exhaust ports there. And these are the tails of the rockets. We have a lot of extra little pieces here. So, this is the fuel tank here. So that's probably a bomb. Not used to the size. There's the fuel tank. Here's our tail tire. Looks like it started to melt there. And vinyl. Same here with our main tires. Here you can see some of the detail there. A little greasy. This is our radiator intake for underneath the plane. Here we have our pilot. And more engine parts. I'm not sure what that is. Probably actually the bulkhead behind the pilot. Here, this is very nice here, is our instrument panel. We have our seat. More engine parts. That's where the exhaust comes out. And here we have our wheels. They're going to go together like that. Okay, next over here we have our decals. These are really old. This is an old kit, but still reasonably good condition. Looks like that should be able to come off. So lots of little details here printed out. So here are the instructions. Some details about the plane there. So we have our pilot, and then we have our cockpit starting to be built. There's the radio that goes behind the cockpit. We then build our tail gear. Next we do our instrument panel with the flight controls and the sides of the cockpit. And then start to build some of the options, the extra things for the main fuselage. Put together the tail and rudder. Next our cockpit is installed inside. There's some additional parts inside there, the cockpit, and our fuselage is then assembled. We have our propeller then being built with the spinner. And we start to build the engine. There's the supercharger. The propeller's then installed, and that's all then placed together with the supercharger. We have the cooling unit. We have our exhausts. That's a very detailed engine being built there. Next we have the firewall for the front of the cockpit. We build our main gear, and now we put on the canopy. The engine is then installed inside the fuselage, like that. Okay, now we're going to start to put together the details for the wings. All the gun ports are placed. The gun loading doors can be open or closed. I would definitely want them open. Also our wheel wells can be open or closed. And then we have the radiator intake installed on the wing. The wing is then mounted to the canopy. Next we build our elevator, and then we go to put on our radio wire, and that's then all mounted. We've got our drop tanks and bombs. We also have air-to-ground missiles or rockets, and those can all be mounted. So here we have our painting, and I guess this is a decal guide. There's our paint guide here, and here's the other side of it here. We got the painting for the top and bottom. And just some explanation about the flying of the plane.